What's going on, guys? Chris, SVT Garage, and today we're working on the Red Fire car. I told you guys I was going to be getting the hood vents installed. I'm working on that now, probably about halfway through. The hard part's done. I want to show you guys, if you go, since I have both of them here, actually I have all three of them here, I'll show you realistically the process you're going to have to go through if you want to go with those LMR billet aluminum ones. So let me flip this around and I'll show you guys what we got. Those billet aluminum ones are out. That took a little longer. I knew it was going to take a little longer because they fit in here so snug. And to get them to fit, you do have to trim this lip. What I used, if you guys are going to go that route, I would highly recommend going to Harbor Freight, spending, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks on one of these guys. These little rotary trimming kits, sanding kits, whatever you want to call it. Amazing for that. But these billet LMR ones are so snug that getting it to fit in there, it even says in the directions, there's trimming involved in it. You may want to consult professional help for that install. I had to pause the video. I swear that guy drove by the last time I was shooting a video with his music, and my luck, I'm going to get a copyright on the video. But anyways, so we have the factory ones. We have those LMR ones, and then we have the Trackspecs. These ones just pop out. The Trackspec ones are a direct replacement. There's no trimming necessary for those. They fit right in here, and it essentially just sits in there. You have the backing plate that goes underneath the car, and then you have like 10 nut and bolts and washers, and it just pretty much bolts in place. That's the easy route, and it still looks good. I do like, if you're just running the single setup, you're not going to do the full Trackspec kit. This does look to me the best with the car, but because I'm running this, I wanted that full, essentially that full look of having that louver look all the way up and down here. But the only reason why I changed it out was because I did this. Much easier, and these ones are a little more expensive. I think I bought these on sale. They had a New Year sales, like 20% off, so I got these for $180. I believe these at LMR are somewhere around that $140 range, but these will take a lot more work and a lot more time to install. So what I'm doing now, where a little bit more of my time is kind of being taken up, is I had to come through here. I put some ice packs on there to see if that would kind of shrink up the aluminum a little bit. I'm pretty sure it worked. This little teardrop $5 hammer from Harbor Freight was amazing. This thing worked out great. A couple taps of this thing and it worked out really good. But I let the ice sit on there the ice packs sit on there for about 20 minutes, and I'm pretty sure it worked because it came out so much easier than it went in. I was so nervous because of how just tight it was. I was really worried about it messing up the paint. It did in a couple spots. You can see right in there it did. So I just touched up that. And then same thing, there was a couple spots on this one, like right there and over there in the corner. And then I just went ahead and touched up the whole thing since I was in there. Because I typically always have a good bottle of this laying around. Every time I get paint work done, I always ask my guy, hey, let me get some to go, because you never know. You're getting a rock chip on your fender, your front bumper, mirrors up there on the top, just prone up here on the front of the hood, just prone to getting little rock chips. So highly recommend, if you get any work done, just bring some paint back with you. But what we're going to do now, this is just drying. I went in here. I mean, I can tell where it's all at, but I just went in there and kind of touched up. There's a bunch of little blemishes in there from pulling it out. And I would say most of them were from putting it in, because again, those aluminum ones are super tight. Unless mine were just some weird, install, but it was just really tight getting them in. But what we're going to do now is let that dry for about 10 more minutes. Going to take those track specs. My son's going to help me, because it does say it takes 2 hands because of the backing plate, and just throw them on here, kind of complete this look. But real quick, guys, we're going to get to a video on this, but these headlights look great, so we'll get to that later. But back to this. We're going to pause this here. I'm going to get my son out here to give me a hand, let this dry for about 2 or 3 more minutes, and then slap him in, so stand by. She's finally finished, and have to say, super happy with how this looks. Easy, 1 to 10 scale, I'd say somewhere around a 2. Real simple, a little awkward reaching in. You got 8 little nuts and bolts on each side. That was probably the most time-consuming part. And this one I did with my son, super easy with 2 people. Definitely recommend that. He was in there playing his video games. I was letting some of the stuff dry because I was doing that touch-up. Did this one by myself, probably an extra 5 minutes or so. Just, again, just trying to really do 3 things at one time. Hold the top and hold the bottom and, get the Allen key on there and hit it with that 1/4 inch. But it, again, super doable by yourself. And I think it looks fantastic. Trackspec nailed it with this. The finish on this, the fit is much different than that bullet, the late model bullet ones. These ones, if you were just looking for simplicity and to change up just that extractor look on here, these ones are easy to do. These billet ones, I love them. They look great. This is probably on a scale level of a 6 or a 7 because you have to trim. At least I had to trim. I've seen some stories where some guys are like, no, mine fit right in. No issue, no problem. But majority of them, you have to have that rotary tool to kind of get in there, grind away, shave that down, and make them fit. So 30-minute install time to about I'd say, if you're taking your time and doing it right, if you have to trim, like me, I think it was around 2 hours. So not the end of the world. Just take your time and take off a little bit as you go. But these ones here are night and day, so much easier. And I like how it just completes that look now on the whole Trackspec setup. Now you can order these as a kit and you save, I can't remember how much you save. I didn't order them that way right from the get-go because I wasn't sure I was going to go with these. Hindsight, I probably should have. And it's not the end of the world. It all worked out. And I'm super happy with, this outcome right now. These do function very well for the cars. I have noticed the IATs being lower and just helping the car out. You can see the heat literally just pouring out the top of this hood with these in here. So on a beneficial factor, these are great. Now I keep saying, me personally, I don't know if I would have done this to this hood if it was not blemished up here. I do love the way these hoods look stock and with just a little bit of something changed like that. Like I really do like that. But because this hood has that issue, I just went ahead and said, screw it, let's just get it done. Again, I'm super picky about this and it's a little, I mean, sometimes I have a hard time finding it, but I do catch it every time I wash the car, especially out there in the sun. You can see it a little better. But it's repaired twice. Long story short, it's still there. And I figured this was the perfect hood to do that on. But she's done. It looks fantastic. I'll get this camera up there so you guys can get a closer look at it. So let's get that done. So again, the driver's side is the only one with the actual logo on there. I really kind of like that look. I know it's got that like peekaboo effect where it's on one side and not the other, but I almost kind of wish it was on both sides because I think that looks great. I will go ahead and ceramic coat these. These are ceramic coated now. It helps out, if you are, especially in a state like Florida where the sun is so harsh on these cars. And again, this doesn't really stay out in the outside, but taking it out and driving around car shows, whatnot, it's still going to get beat up. So these all get ceramic coated, ceramic coat those to match all at the same time and really help keep some of these, the aluminum, you see a lot of cars where they just start to fade and just look like trash. So I don't want that to happen. I also did ceramic these because the billet ones will do that as well. I've had these on the car for a couple years and they still look brand new, so highly recommend doing that. But again, I just want to show you what we were doing with the car. I didn't really think the install video was necessary because it really is cut and dry. You just come in here, you got the backing plate, and you're just holding it and putting in 8 little screws and bolts, Allen heads, and I think that was a 1/4 inch. But that's really it. But just the way it kind of just ties in with the car, I think it looks great. So comment, guys, below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like the video. I do want to show you guys the headlights because I'm super happy with those, especially for what they cost and how good they look on the car. But we'll get to that video another day. I just really wanted to get these in. I'm so glad I got it done tonight. It's been a rainy day here in Florida, so perfect time to do it. But again, guys, thanks. It's Chris, SVT Garage. I do appreciate everybody. I finally kind of hit like a milestone on the channel. I'm now allowed to, I guess, get some ad revenue. According to YouTube, we hit those magic numbers. So again, guys, I just want to say thanks to you for allowing that to happen. And these cars, you know, the Cobras especially, but the Mustangs, just Ford in general, you know, allow some of us guys to, you know, have that opportunity. And I just want to say thanks from the bottom of my heart. I do appreciate it. But again, on to the next one. We'll keep this moving. Chris, SVT Garage, and stay tuned.